Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. You are now, as you know, this is a case study and you are in track A. And this is all about the heart and soul of HR practices. So it's essentially all about how EVP should create a journey for employees to go through. And the person that's delightfully going to share more insights and a case study all around that right now is HR business partner for Downstream at Nice, Bojana Sajlovic. Bojana, you are there, wonderful, in that wonderful studio of yours. It's fantastic. Always great to see that, and everybody in there as well. How are you doing this morning?
I'm fine. I'm expecting to share
you're expecting, right, okay. You're expecting to share great. Where are you right now? Just remind you're in Belgrade, is that right?
Yes, in Belgrade, exactly.
So are we. So far, so near, yet so far. Anyway, over to you. If we have any questions at the end, I'll pop back in and ask those questions directly to you from our audience. Okay, so over to you, Bojana.
Okay, thank you very much for this kind introduction, and I'm very happy and very glad to have the opportunity to participate in this high profile of the event, HR Week, and as you said, to share my Nice EVP journey. Actually, Nice EVP journey from my angle is that I'm Nice employee for more than 10 years. I'm psychologist, CAPD associate, and I have graduated in St. Petersburg State University. And what I would like to say is that first part of my career in Nice was dedicated to recruitment. I was leading recruitment team who at that time employed more than 8,000 employees in Serbia and in the region. And starting from 2015, and this is very important here, I'm in charge of leading all HR processes implementation here in corporate function for several years, and last 2 years within downstream business, which includes refinery, technical services, sales and distribution, and energy sector. Why this year is very important? Because exactly from the same year, Nice started to put very high focus on how we want to be positioned on the market, actually to understand how we are positioned on the market. And before the journey started, we wanted to understand. We wanted to understand what is the reputation of a Nice as a company, till which extent our goals and values are accepted by Nice. What is the perception of the corporate culture? What is the perception of the corporate image? What are the key factors for satisfaction and dissatisfaction of the employees? What are the key motivators? And at the end, what is the attractiveness of Nice as employer? What are our key competitors? Are those from the same industry? Are those other leading companies on the market? And what were our first steps, actually baby steps? First, we had to get the approval from the top level. Actually, we got the approval from General Director. He was the sponsor of the project. And luckily, we were lucky because at the same time, Gazprom Neft put all the efforts in the same topic. So we were aligned. Also, we wanted to conduct a survey to understand how we are positioned on the market, how we are positioned between our employees. We conducted the survey, we analyzed the results, and we prepared the activities to present to the top team. After presentation, we got some relevant inputs, and we created the plan for the implementation, the action plan, actually. We started to roll it out. But what we understood at that time, we understood two main things. Actually, most of the companies are usually stuck in that very moment. So actually, most of the companies are conducting the survey, they're analyzing results, they're preparing action plan and started the implementation. But they're not going outside, they are not going forward into the direction to understand how can they move to be better employer. And also we understood that we need to go deep dive, we as a company, in order to achieve our strategic business objectives. And in that regard, we understood that we need to employ a person who will systematically lead us through that process. We need a person who will be actually our key player in order to achieve what we planned to achieve. And this is our heart. The heart, what we put as strategic targets for our company is to be a modern energy company, to be a leader in Southeast Europe, to have the title of innovation leader, to be leader in operational efficiency and HSE, to have dream employer status. Wow. To have high impact on the market, to have good reputation in Serbia. And in order to do that, we were obliged to have enablers to do what and to do how. But here I would like to come back and to say once again thank you to all the colleagues who were with us from the very beginning of the story, who were preparing the basement of this journey, who were part of the recruitment team at that time, who were part of HR at that time, who were part of PR and marketing. And this was the team that started this journey. And now, starting from 2018, I'm very delighted to have a person who is in charge currently and who is let's say, with whom I'm cooperating now. And also 2 years later with one more team member who is supporting us and who is leading us to become and to stay on the position as a dream employer. And in order to do that, we wanted to have 3 types of transformation. The first transformation is organizational transformation. The second one is digital transformation. And the third one, the most important one, the one that I will talking about, is cultural and employer transformation. And as you can see, as you can feel, probably most of them, actually all 3 of them are cooperating. They are in correlation. They are interfering between them. And what we understood that in order to do that, in order to help them transform us into the better employer, we have to have this umbrella. We have to create, let's say, EVP that will attract the right candidates. Actually, I would not say right candidates, but the candidates that rightly fit to our strategy, and also to, let's say, motivate to stay and to perform those employees who are currently working with us and who are right fit for our strategy. And in order to do that, we had the soul. And the soul is that we defined 4 target audience, 4 target groups for which we will prepare our value proposition. The first target groups, can you imagine, are young graduates. And I think that most of the participants of this event would say that the target focus of their companies is the same target group, the young graduates. Okay, but then having in mind our business, having in mind our reputation in the company, and having in mind our business goals, we understood that the second target group, actually the same level of the target group, should be our workers, our operators, who are working through all the company. The third group of target audience is the experienced professional, especially the experienced professional who are working in different business units that are critical for us. And the fourth, I would say, some of the most important are middle management. This is the power of the company, and through them we would like to boost the energy and new culture that we want to spread and to lead us in order to achieve business results. And actually, by creating those EVP, we are giving promises and we are giving expected results and expected experience to our employees, first of all, and to our new employees, actually to our candidates. The most important part, the most interesting part for sharing is this teamwork. Actually, we identify our 4 EVP pillars. It is respect, challenging job, personal development, and recognition for performance. But in order to do that, we had to create a multicultural team and also to have cross-functional cooperation, and also to merge center of expertise in HR and business partners who are actually transforming business initiatives into the HR guidelines. And also, we really generated hundreds of ideas, thanks to many colleagues. And in the end, we ended up with 10 main initiatives. And then actually real job started. What was started? We had to challenge the description of each EVP. What does it mean, respect? How we should clarify what the respect is. What is the respect for me here? What is the respect for the candidate? How we will attract? Is it really good selling message? Is it really a message that is selling NIS as it should sell, as it should be presented as a company? Is it interpretation of each EVP sentences okay? Is it including all potential activities that we are currently providing to our employees and that we will provide in the future? Okay, and then please do, we had to adjust EVP to different target groups. We understood that, for example, respect for the employees who are working on operators' position should be the same as for the candidates and employees who are working on middle management position. But some other things, for example, challenging job or personal development, there is a quiet variation in that regard. Also, we had to exhaust all the activities that we are currently proud of and working in NIS, and what we will do in the future. Because when we created EVP, we created a mix. We created something that is our current status and something that we are striving to be. So something that we can see on the horizon. And in order to achieve that horizons, we need to set those activities and actually to have some kind of guideline where to go. And also, we have always to have in mind different target EVP groups, those four that I mentioned. So we set a list of activities to make them live, to make them be part of us. And what's in it for us? Usually the question is, what's in it for me? But actually, what's in it for us? For us as a NIS. I said that there was 100 of ideas, that was a multicultural team. And for me, sometimes it's even enough. For me, this kind of productive environment, when you can, let's say, brainstorm, when you can show what you are doing for your people, what you are planning to do for your candidates, what you are doing for your company, sometimes it's enough. But what business directly got, maybe for them is enough as well, but they got precise activities, initiatives that we prepared for them. Because through business partners, they delivered their inputs. Business partners just, let's say, shaped them into the HR part. And for example, one of the initiatives was to improve working conditions of the operators. And when I was thinking about EVP, I was always thinking about some fancy things, how it should be modern, how it should sound, like to be some wow effect. But in the end, EVP is something for what we are fighting, something what we are. And if it is an input, if there is input from operators that they have to have better working conditions, or the manager thinks, or we think that they should have, then it should be one of our first initiatives. And one of the initiatives that I'm most proud of is that actually we established compliance function. It is something new for NIS. We prepared the initiative respect above all. And why I'm proud as well is that we dedicated person on very senior level, top manager, CEO -1, who is absolutely dedicated to this role, who has direct communication with our employees, who is actually leading this initiative. And we had initiative to spread this, let's say, direction, not only in Serbia, but in our companies abroad. And also, we had the second thing that I'm most proud of is engagement. We put very high stress on engagement, and my colleague Anya had the presentation yesterday how engagement is important and what we are doing to improve in this part ourselves. And engagement now is the goal of each manager within our company. It is goal that is set on the highest level. And this is the one of the initiative that I'm also very proud of. Yes, we do have challenges. We do have challenges in the development and implementation of different initiatives, because we are not only responsible to deliver initiatives that are part of VVP, but our regular business as usual job. And also, we were facing, because of this transformation in business, in the processes, in the organization itself, we had changes in the org structure, in the processes that were also some kind of, let's say, important factor that influenced our behavior in that direction. Also, we ourselves had some changes in priorities. But what I would like to say, what we got from this journey and what business got from this journey itself. We got from this journey that actually we finally identify who we are and who we are not. We really identify who we are not and who we don't want to be. And we also identify what we are offering to our candidates, what we are offering to our employees. What will be our priorities? And also, one of the important things for us as HR people is that actually each initiative that is coming on someone's mind or through business, we are challenging through these four pillars: respect, challenging job, personal development, recognition for performance. Does it fit to this? If it fits, yes, we can go with this. If it don't fit, then we challenge and then go back. So this is also very important. And for me, as I said before, cross-functional team cooperation, this is a very important thing. And really, most of the benefits we got from this cooperation. And also, for the other parts of the company, it is important to understand, and for us, like some kind of insight for us as HR people, is that we as HR, doesn't matter if I'm working in central expertise or I'm working as a business partner in corporate function or downstream business. Yes, it's pretty different, but actually it's the same, because all other parts of the company, and especially all other parts of people who are not still people who are working in NIS, who are NIS candidates, they are perceiving us as one face. HR is one face of the company, and HR has to present the company how it should be. And for the beginning and for the end, EVP, just to summarize, EVP is what we are and what we are striving to do. And to emphasize, I said we have 10 initiatives that we are rolling out starting from 2019 and go on. Some of them are finished, some of them are not. But they lead us to be better as employer. But, very important thing, but EVP has to live in all HR practices. EVP has to live in all processes. And at the end and the beginning, we have respect. So EVP has to be visible in all relations. It has to be visible between colleagues, between middle management, on the top level, between line manager and employees. Because EVP, as I said at the beginning, is the heart and the soul. Thank you.
Bojana, thank you so much. Really great to hear those insights. We've just got a couple of questions before we finish off. So first one is, how important is it to do market research for our recruitment strategy, and can this affect EVP?
I would say, and as I said, this is one of the most important thing. Let's say one of the most important thing, because you have to understand how you are positioned on the market, to see what is your target audience. Because when you give the inputs for the research, then you have to think, what are my target audience? Not all the candidates are right fit for me. So this is, let's say, the base. This is the ground. And from that ground, you are starting to build your story, to build your recruitment, and to build your EVP in parallel. So yes, very important.
Wonderful. We also have another question from Milica. In fact, do you have any kind of metrics that you follow in order to compare the impact of the different projects that you've implemented?
Yes, definitely. So I said that, for example, we did for example, regarding the survey, we are doing a survey now each 2 years. So we can exactly compare the results on different, let's say, factors. So we know how we were positioned in 2019 and how we are positioned 2 years later. Okay, so now it's an ongoing survey, so we will see how we are positioned between our employees currently. So yes, those some kind of metrics that we have to follow. And between those surveys, we are preparing action plans and actually following those initiatives, and they are leading us to hopefully better results. And actually, it's not the results; it's actually the atmosphere. It's at the end about the engagement of the employees. Are they more engaged or they are not? And if not, then we will see what to do, how to reshape it. But yes, actually for all the initiatives, we do have some kind of metrics. For example, respect above all. This is something that we introduced. This is a new initiative, not just, but we introduced. But we will see how many people are willing to share, what is the outcome of those conversations had, and etc. So yes, you always have some kind of analytics that will be like a base and the data for the further analysis and improvement of the current stage.
Bojana, listen, thank you so much for this session today. I'm sure we're walking away certainly more than what we did when you started. And all that we can say again is thank you for sharing this session. And naturally, thank you so much for your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right, there we have it, already moving gently through, or actually on fire through this morning of HR Week 2021, day number two, all about people-centric HR. So again, so much to look at. There's so many things to do, to get engaged with, to delve into. Remember, we've got the HR Expo Zone, we've got networking a little bit later on, we've got all the we've got the HR library as well, the booth from so many different organizations and institutions as well. So it's quite difficult, I imagine, to decide exactly what you're going to go for. So remember, you have on your profile, you have a calendar function, very simple. It's quite explanatory. You know exactly what it is, but let me tell you, it's so useful to use that function. So pick and choose exactly what you want today. Again, we've got another 3 days ahead of us as well. So much content and so much to do, really bringing together this community. And here's the thing, if you're enjoying this week, in terms of the community, in terms of the sharing, in terms of the information, in terms of the resources, there's also an opportunity to join the HR community as well, which is literally this, but all year round, full of ideas, full of member-only videos, masterclasses, articles, PDFs, lots and lots of resources that you can get your hands on and also share within that HR community within this region. All you have to do is go to the HR Cafe, and you'll find the HR World Cafe. If you go into there, everything will be explained on how you can become a member, all the benefits, why you should do it. And I believe right now there's a special discount right now this week for all HR Week attendees as well. Check it out, because again, if you're enjoying this week and you want a little bit more of this throughout the year to keep you going and to give you what you need to move forward within the industry, certainly with the HR community, you'll be able to do that. Right, very shortly, we'll be moving on to the next session, which is actually a case which is in fact a panel discussion. It's naked employee branding. Not literally, let me tell you. That might be just enough for you to come back anyway, but it's not that, I'm afraid. Naked employer branding on screen versus behind the scenes. Not naked behind the scenes. Forget I said naked. Anyway, that's what it's about. We'll be joining you in about 3 minutes' time. So join us back for this panel discussion in about 3 minutes' time.